Welcome to Bad Beast Studios with your host, Mr. Bad Beast himself, Daryl Smith.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, welcome to the first episode of Bad Beast Studios. Okay, so this channel, Bad Beast Studios, is kind of an offshoot of our Bad Beast Barbecue channel. All right, this channel will do videos on things that are not food and barbecue related. All right, as a lot of you know, I'm into a lot of different hobbies, into a lot of electronics. Love my man cave, so I'm always getting stuff for my man cave. So I'm going to be covering videos for man cave type stuff, electronics, everyday carry stuff, some of my hobbies like 3D printing, and drinking whiskey and so forth and so on. Okay, so please, if you like that type of stuff, support the channel, subscribe to the channel, like our videos. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps us get this channel monetized even faster. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about this bad boy here, the Ironman Hulkbuster Mark 44 3D print. So I've been a comic book fanatic for years, Marvel, DC, all type of superheroes. And I love the statues that are done by companies like XM Studios, but they're excessively expensive and out of your price range for a lot of people. So I love 3D printing. I love making things. I love painting things. So I bought me some 3D printers, and I've been printing the characters that I like over the last few years and stuff. So I think instead of just buying a statue and spending a lot of money and getting it and putting it on display, which is cool, I'm not knocking that for anybody. I get a lot more enjoyment out of these statues because I have some blood, sweat, and tears into this with printing and cleaning and prepping and gluing and painting. It just feels a little bit more personable to me. So once again, I'm not knocking anybody who purchases statues. If that's your thing, you do it. God bless you. However, I like to be a little bit more involved in the creations in which I display. Okay, so this Ironman Hulkbuster statue. Okay, I bought this file off of Etsy, and with Etsy's new creator policy that they've come out, a lot of 3D channels are disappearing because it's not files that those individuals actually created and are selling. They are reselling files in which they've either acquired or what have you. And so Etsy is kind of locking down on those type of websites. Okay, case in point, this file here for this Hulkbuster 3D print came from a page called STLOL Digital. Okay, and I went on there this morning, and that channel is no longer available. The file is no longer available. So I'm assuming Etsy determined that they were just reselling someone's file. I've been trying to research this and see if I could find the original author, the original designer and stuff. I couldn't find anything on the internet and stuff like that, though, but it is a great replica of the XM Studios 3D actual statue. So the XM Studios design can range anywhere from $2,500 all the way up. I've seen it as high as $6,000 on sites like eBay and auctioning sites and stuff. So as far as this being cost effective, like I said, it didn't cost me that much money to produce. It just a little time and effort. And like I said, I get a lot more out of it doing that. Okay. So print time. All right. So it took us continuously printing 24 hours a day around the clock. It took me 19 days, 10 hours, and 40 minutes to print all the parts for this 3D print file. Okay, there were 34 individual print files that had to be printed, and I didn't increase the size of the files at all. This is the actual size of the print file, if you can find it out there anymore. I had to add 1 or 2 pieces more just to correct some mistakes that I made on the base, and I'll show you that later. Okay, we used almost between 4 and 5 spools of Elegoo PLA 1.75 millimeter gray filament. Okay, so I love that filament when I'm doing my statues. It's, for me, it's just easier on the eyes for sanding and for putting down the primer and the paint. And so I always use the gray Elegoo PLA filament for that. Okay, so as far as the measurements of the Hulkbuster 3D print file, it is 32 inches roughly in width. It is roughly 24 inches high, and from the front of this rock to the back of the barrier in the back is roughly 21 inches in depth. Okay, the timetable it took me to complete this is roughly about 3 weeks. Normally I don't rush to do these, however, with my job and with my other stuff going on. But I was really excited about this one, so I worked on this one almost every day. After all the parts were printed, we sanded everything down, primed everything, and then we painted and assembled. Okay. When it comes to painting, this is what I use. I don't do airbrushing, although I wish I did. I think my painting would be a lot more smoother. Okay, but as far as painting goes, the therapy of using a brush and touching up areas and taking your time, I think, is okay. For the red on the Hulkbuster, we used this acrylic paint here. It's called One Decor Painting. Okay, and I put a close up on the screen here for you guys. So this was the base coat. Okay, it was the base coat of red. Same thing with the gold. We used the One Decor paint, the yellow here as the base coat, and then we went over all of the yellow again with the Deco Art Dazzling Metallics acrylic paint. All right, and then all of the silver was we also used the Deco Art Extreme Sheen Metallic Silver paint. Okay, so that worked out pretty well. As far as the base goes, okay, most of the time when I'm doing my 3D prints and I have some type of rock base or some stone base, I normally spray the base down with this. This is Rust-Oleum's stone textured finish. Okay, so I usually spray the base black, and I go over it with this Rust-Oleum stone textured paint, and it gives us a really nice look of actual stone or concrete, or with broken rock or what have you, to give the statue itself a little bit of environmental authenticity. All right. As far as assembly of the parts go, all right, we used Starbond thick, and sometimes we use the Starbond accelerator in order to accelerate the adhering of the parts together. Okay, so that worked out really well. It's really put together well. You can pull this apart if you wanted to. Believe me, I've tried, because this is going to be on display in my office at the job starting next week. And if you're going to have people, I really don't like people touching my 3D prints, but if they're going to be touching the 3D print, which they always want to do, I want to make sure that nothing falls off and that it's really put together very well. All right, so I have 3 3D printers, okay? One of them is the older version of the Elegoo Saturn resin printer, okay? But I don't use my resin printer anymore as much as I did in the past. It just became a little cumbersome of the cleaning process and all the precautions you have to take when using resin. So I still have that printer. I still have the Elegoo washing station and everything. I just have it up on the shelf. I don't use it as much as I would have in the past, simply because it's not a really simple process. Okay, resin takes some time to work with and clean and cure and things of that nature. So I stuck with the FDM printers. Okay, my other two printers are the Elegoo Neptune 4 Max. So that's a large format 3D printer. So that helps me print all of these big bases, these big parts, these big pieces and things. And I also have the Elegoo Neptune 3 Pro. Okay, and that also works in conjunction. When the Max and the 3 are working together, then I can get these parts printed out a lot faster, right? So I am really pleased with this. This came out way better than I thought it was going to come out, and I was really excited when I got it all together and it's all said and done. On the back side here, and I'll show you, we even have some rusty pipes, rusty girders back here that we use some rust-colored paint on, and the pipe underneath the street and the barriers on the back we left kind of concrete color, and so I think it all worked out really well. I'm interested in seeing what the folks at work say about it. So because I have several 3D prints in my office, but this is by far the largest print that I have ever done. Okay, so well, that's about it, guys. Hey, I want to thank you for joining us today on Bad Beast Studios. Like I said, hopefully you liked the video. If you have any questions about our settings or anything about the 3D print itself, please let me know. Once again, if you know the original artist for this, let me know so that I can properly give him credit for this fantastic 3D print file. And that's about it. So, hey, thanks for joining us. Support the channel, and we'll see you in the next video from Bad Beast Studios.